Hey, what's up you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, I'm Lydia, and if you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, join the growing family, turn notifications on, and way down there give me a thumbs up because it really does help me out. Ooh, itchy nose. Today I want to talk about grief at Christmas. Now, I answered a question in my Q&A that I posted yesterday for you guys, and I wanted to make a whole video talking about grief at Christmas because Christmas makes things harder. It's a festive time, you're around with your family, and if you've lost someone close to you and they're not going to be there for the first time, that's hard. As always, I'm talking from experience, not a professional. Never going to be a professional, not going to qualify as a professional, not going to study to be a professional. Do not take me as a professional. I am simply someone with lived experience. I think to begin with, I'm going to share my experience. And then I'm going to give you some tips. So, in 2015, my great-granddad died. He had a major heart attack. He'd had 7 heart attacks prior to that. And the resus team said, we're going to leave him with dignity and we're going to stop attempts to save his life. Now, I was in the hospital when they made that decision with him. And my grandma was like, you asked me to choose. And I was like, they're not asking, they're telling you. And they made the rooms safe for us to be in. And my grandma wanted me to hold his hand. And I so wish I had. I really wish I had. I was so afraid of death because I've never lost anyone before. Well, I lost my ex-boyfriend, but that was after that. When my great-granddad died, that was the first death I'd ever experienced. And it still is a very hard experience because my family used to go over to his flat every year on Christmas Eve. And he'd always give us children, I'm not really a child, but he always did it. He made us all little arts and craft like art materials and all sorts of things in these gift bags. They weighed a fucking ton. God knows what he was thinking, but it was a lovely gesture. And I think the thing that hit it hard for me is the year before I was working on Christmas Eve, so I didn't go over to see him. And then I saw him at my grandma's after his first heart attack because he moved in with my grandparents temporarily. And the last time I saw him alive, I was there in the hospital when the machine made the flatline noise, and it was like, I still get upset about it now. I have a version on tears at the minute, and that was 10 years ago. So what we do every year now on Christmas Eve is we light a candle to signify his presence, and that helps because it makes you feel like you're still connected. It's hard losing people. Like that year I lost 2 people. I lost my great-granddad and I lost my boyfriend at the time. And there's a fucking siren. If you're wondering what I'm watching Australia vlogs by Molly Thompson. Anyway, grief at Christmas. Enough of my story. We don't need it. What are some tips to cope with loss at Christmas? 1, light a candle to signify their presence. It can be a tea light, candlestick, block of candle, Yankee candle, tea light. You know, just a candle. Something that is alive and showing that someone is there. It's not the same as having the person there with you, but it means their presence is there. Next, what you can do is write a journal. I actually don't journal that much. I tried it last night for the first time in my mental health notebook, and I wrote that. So if that helps me now with things like self-harm and suicide and eating disorders, then I'm sure it will help around Christmas. If you're missing somebody, just write a letter to them, like, dear great-granddad, dear Granddad Dudley, dear, I'm not going to say his name, write them a letter. And yes, they'll never read it. we know this, but it's getting it out of us that matters. Because if you keep something in, it just builds up and builds up and builds up until you lash out either at somebody, towards yourself, end up in hospital, sections. We don't want that. So let it out. Number 3, if you lost someone that year, like for me this year, I lost my dad, and while me and my dad was not close, we had started to build up a relationship. And like, yes, I lost my dad this year, and I'm not going to get a card off him this year. And I know it's not a big deal, but for me, I've only ever had one birthday card off my dad, and that was last year. And I know now that I will never get another card of him, or text, or call, or comment on my video, because he's gone. So yeah, Christmas is going to be hard, but like I said, light a candle to represent them. For me, I've got 4 candles at my mum's that I light at my birthday and Christmas and New Year. Why do I always film videos that I know I'm going to cry in? Because it's an important subject. My last tip, and this one matters, is let go. And I can't say I've let go of my losses, but I kind of have to some degree, and that is let go. It sounds horrible, but you have to think about yourself, and if you can't cope with the loss of somebody, isn't it best to just appreciate the memories you've got and remember them for who they were, rather than wishing they was back with you? I don't know what I'm saying. Fuck. I just thought this was an important subject to make a video on, because you are not alone in your struggles. Believe me, I'm struggling with this year, and it's so important to put yourself first. And it's not selfish by putting yourself above others. And I'm not saying forget the person, but I hope that makes some sense and I'm not just waffling on for no reason. Thank you for watching, and as always, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Or sneeze. Bye guys.